everyone, I'm Ree. Welcome aboard my train of thought. So if for some reason you notice that I'm wearing the same clothes as I was on my introduction video, that's because this is the same day. That one took so little time to film that I decided to film another video. And if for some reason you didn't notice, then forget I said anything and just keep thinking about me as someone who has a passion for fashion and would never repeat an outfit. Anyways, today's video is going to be kind of meta, I guess, considering it's YouTube content about YouTube content, but not really meta because I'm not a full-fledged YouTuber yet. As a YouTube watcher, as an avid YouTube watcher, I have some thoughts on YouTube content, and I'm gonna share them with you. Basically, I'm just gonna be sharing my thoughts on different YouTube communities, or genres, or kinds of channels. And I know there are way too many communities, way more than I could ever talk about. So I'm not gonna mention every single one of them. I'm just gonna mention the ones that I have more thoughts on, more sort of an opinion on. And I've divided these kinds of channels, these communities or whatever, into a list with 4 categories. Yeah, there are 4, yeah. And it's gonna go from negative to positive, just so I can end this with some positivity. Yeah. So for this category, I have 3 types of channels that I strongly dislike. I've never liked, never watched any content from these types of channels, and I actually don't even think that they should exist on some level. I don't see the appeal in the content, and also everything that I've heard from these communities has been through drama channels, which means it has been drama and mess and problematic behavior. So I don't see point on these communities other than like in a train wreck kind of way. But even then, I'm a pretty big train wreck fan, and I have no interest in these types of channels. First on this category, we have prank channels. And I mean, do I even need to explain why prank channels are bad? They're bad for their own safety, they're bad for the community that the creators are based on, they're bad for the people that watch them, that internalize that it's okay to physically and mentally torment other people just for laughs. They're just bad overall. And the pranks aren't even funny. I'm not saying that I would excuse that kind of behavior if the pranks were funny, but hey, at least try to make it funny. I mean, I can't actually know if the pranks in the videos are funny because I've never watched any of those videos, but from the titles alone and what other creators say about the prank channels, I can just tell that faking to go missing for 2 hours, or faking a miscarriage, or any of those other extreme, insane pranks are not funny and would never be funny, and I just don't understand how that type of content gets made. And it's just a problem because those types of channels have existed for a very, very long time. I remember when I was like 13, 14, there were prank channels, and they were crazy then. Imagine now that they've had years of content to evolve or to one-up, and they have all of these other creators, and they have to compete with the other creators and with themselves from past videos. So of course the pranks are getting crazy, and of course the pranks are getting dangerous, because they're running out of ideas and they've lost the fun, if they ever had it in the first place. And yeah, I just really think that prank channels shouldn't be a thing. Don't see the point of them, just don't. Next, we have another type of community that I really don't think I should explain why I strongly dislike it, but I'm gonna try to anyways. And that is family channels. And by family channels, I don't mean, I don't know, parenting advice channels. I don't even know if those are a thing, but with everything that is on the internet, I wouldn't be surprised if there are some very dedicated parents keen on teaching other parents how to be better. And hey, that's great. But by family channels, I mean these weird, I don't even know how to explain them. They're just parents exploiting their kids for views, because they don't even teach you anything. They're just like vlogging, but with a family, and the kids are the center of everything. And I don't think that should be okay. Like, there are so many issues with family channels, and I'm not like competent enough to list them all. But I think it's pretty obvious that it's an issue for the kids' mental health in the future. Probably we have no way of knowing, because there hasn't been many grown-up family channel kids that are speaking about it, but I can imagine that it wouldn't be fun for them in the future to see all of these crazy childhood experiences documented on the internet. And besides the whole kids issue, there are issues with the parents too, because they're constantly being judged on how they conduct their family. I don't understand why you would even create a family channel. I can see the appeal of recording your child's milestones or whatever, and maybe archiving them on the internet, on like the cloud or something. But this thing of having your kids in the public eye since they're born, basically, and you yourself being a mess, like, before that, you have parents being messy and all, but you didn't hear about it on the internet. So I can't imagine what it would be like to be the kids on the family channels and growing up and then looking back and seeing all the fucked up things that their parents did when they were younger, and all of the weird things that they themselves did as kids now on the internet forever. Like, I know I have some really weird experiences from when I was a kid, and I can choose to tell those memories to people if I want to. There are even weird videos of me as a kid on a tree or something, but I'm not gonna show that to other people unless I want to, because that's a right. I have a right to privacy on my childhood stories. And these parents are taking that right away from these kids. What if they grow up and they decide that they didn't want anyone to know about, like, getting their first period or something, but now that's just out there? And let's just agree that family channels shouldn't be a thing, or at least as big of a thing as they are, in the way that they got big right now. Again, parenting advice videos, no issue there. Blogging your 13-year-old daughter having her first period, it's not fine, and it shouldn't happen. And why do people even watch it? And I know that there are, like, mostly kids watching when there are other little kids on the videos. I know that some family channels have pretty young fan bases, which just makes the whole messes that they get into way worse. But are there actually other parents watching these family channels? What are they getting out of it? How are you, an adult, watching a family channel and enjoying seeing those kids being exploited for views and money? I can't get it. I'm sorry. The last community, I guess, that we have on this category, they're not problematic in the same way. To me, they're not problematic in the same way the other two are problematic, because they don't pose any physical danger to others in the way that prank channels and family channels pose physical danger to the people they're pranking and the kids. But they're another kind of problematic. I just think they go too far, if that makes sense. And that is the overly preachy religious channels. and also the overly preachy political channels, but I'm not gonna get into that. Anyways, the overly preachy religious channels, I understand to a point, because everybody is entitled to sharing what they want on the internet. Here I am sharing my thoughts that no one asked for, and everybody is entitled to their own faith. Of course, I get a problem when they start shaming other people for either not sharing their faith or not executing their faith the way they think they should. It's just, I don't think I should explain why that is wrong. I just want there to be a record that I strongly dislike those types of channels, but I respect them because everybody is entitled to their views. Just please, please, please don't drag other people or shame other people into behaving the way you want them to, because they're not gonna. And just as they are entitled to their faith and their views and their way of living life, other people are entitled to theirs as well. And that's where I get the problem. And I'm just gonna leave it there. I shouldn't have even brought them up, but here I am now. Moving on. This category only has 2 channels, and they're here because I have actually tried watching 1 or 2 videos on from each community, and they make me so uncomfortable. And I mean, no judgment to the people that actually enjoy those types of videos. I actually sort of admire them for being able to get through them. But I personally cannot enjoy this type of content, and it makes me uncomfortable, and please just keep them away from me. Like, I'm not asking them to stop existing, because no, I can sort of maybe see the appeal, and I know that there are many people that like them. I just keep them on their corner, and I'm just gonna stay on my corner far away from them. Anyways, the first of those 2 types of channels is the mukbang community. And I'm just so uncomfortable by watching people eat. Like, it just makes me want to crawl out of my skin. And it's just watching people eat so much food, and so much messy food too. Like, I think that is the appeal. I know that people that like the mukbang community like it because it's, I really don't know why they like it, but I have heard that the messier the food is, the more appealing it is to some people. I can't watch someone eat kilos and kilos of food, whether it's junk food or healthy food. It's just so much food, and they're just stuffing their face with it, and the food, as I said, is messy, so they're just getting it everywhere on their faces. It makes me uncomfortable, especially when there's eating noises. And that takes me actually to the second community, and like a crossover between these 2 communities, I could never, no, please, never. The ASMR community. This community, it makes me less uncomfortable than the mukbang community, but I still, like, I'm just made impatient by this community, I guess, because I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm a pretty loud person. So I'm annoyed by whispering. And all of those noises and everything that makes the ASMR community appealing to the people that actually like the ASMR community are especially the things that keep me away from the ASMR community. I'm sorry. And yeah, this section is pretty short because I have nothing hateful to say about those communities other than that they make me uncomfortable, and please, as I said, keep them away from me. This third section is also gonna be quite short because since I don't really care much for these types of channels, I have not a lot to say about them. And we have three channels, well, three communities in the I don't care category. And that is the gaming community. I have nothing against the gaming community at all. I sometimes even enjoy watching some playthroughs, or when people are doing commentary and they're doing like this, I don't know what they're called, but the footage of them playing in the background, I enjoy that too. I just don't care much for the gaming community. And even when there's gaming community drama, I'm like, for someone who likes drama as much as I do, for me not to be interested in gaming community drama, it's because the gaming community is not that interesting to me. Other than the PewDiePie drama, that was big. Then we have blogging and traveling channels, especially like travel blog channels and all of that. I don't care. I understand. I see the appeal on it. I understand. At some point in quarantine, I also considered watching travel videos just to see other people experience things that I can't anymore. But as with the gaming community, I occasionally enjoy travel blog videos. I just don't see the point on there being an actual community and someone making their whole content travel based. I mean, good for them that they're able to travel so much. I wish. But yeah, I don't care. And the third one is the DIY lifestyle community. For this one, I used to be like a pretty big fan of the DIY and lifestyle YouTubers, like the old ones, like when there were like a crossover between beauty bloggers and DIY lifestyle channels, like, you know, Bethany Mota and My Life as Ava and Meredith Foster. I don't remember her channel name. I used to love watching those kinds of channels, and I just lost interest in the whole DIY thing, and I think a lot of people did, especially now that a lot of content farms are coming out with DIY content, and it's just oversaturated, and I don't see the point. I don't care. Yeah, that's it. Gamers, please don't come at me. I respect you. I admire you. I would love to be one of you. I'm just not that interested in video games. I'm interested in some video games. And as for the other two communities, I fear the gamers. Now, to end this video with some positivity, this is gonna be, I think, the longest section, or at least it's the category with the most channels in them, because as I've said at the beginning, I'm an avid YouTube watcher. Therefore, I have a lot of content that I actually enjoy. Just as I have like a lot of opinions on content that I dislike or makes me uncomfortable or I don't care about, I have a lot of content that I actually do enjoy and I love watching. And of course, everybody's entitled to their own opinions. Maybe I've listed some of your favorite communities in the other three categories, and maybe some of the types of channels that I'm gonna list here are some channels that you actually strongly dislike. But hey, this is my channel, these are my opinions. And so yeah, we have 7 communities, types of channels, types of content that I love watching. In no particular order, because I don't think I could ever place them in order. We have true crime videos, and I think that this is a result of me watching a lot of CSI and Criminal Minds growing up and just being obsessed with police procedurals. I know there are a lot of whole issues there, but yeah, I was just really fascinated by criminology. I actually wanted to be a forensic scientist. I don't know if that's the name in English, but yeah, I just enjoy true crime and I'm fascinated by the criminal mind. And also, as you could guess from my very first video, and yeah, I love movie and TV reactions, commentary, even theory content. I just enjoy watching other people criticize media that I love and that I hate too. Because sometimes I'll just watch a movie and immediately after watching it, even if I loved it, I'll just look videos of people hating that movie because I want to feel different. Just kidding. But yeah, I really enjoy movie and TV content. Sometimes I'll just watch a show because a lot of videos about that show are popping up on my recommended, and I'm like, I need to see what this is about. So I'll just watch the show and immediately after just go straight to YouTube and watch like 3 hours of videos criticizing the show. Next, as you could have maybe guessed from me mentioning like drama from other communities, I actually enjoy the drama community. Well, to some extent. I don't enjoy the whole community. I just like watching like 2 or 3 drama creators that report on the things going on the internet. I'm not that invested in the actual drama. I just like to be informed on other people's mess because I love mess in any way, shape, or form that it may come. Also, linked to that, I truly enjoy the commentary community and the video essayist community. Whether like, because there's commentary on social issues and then there's video essays on social issues, and like there are a lot of crossovers in these genres of YouTube that I enjoy watching. I love the commentary community, hence my long-ish videos, because I love when commentary and video essayists just make 1 to 2 hour long videos because they keep me entertained for a long time, and I just don't have to keep clicking through YouTube to find other content. I just can play one video on the background of me doing other things. Anyways, moving on. I love the makeup and other stuff genre of YouTube. Like, I also love the beauty YouTube, the smaller beauty YouTube channels, or the people that do get ready with me and all of that. But my favorite kind of makeup content is the makeup while doing my makeup while doing other stuff. Like there's Bailey Zarian with Makeup and Murder Mystery Mondays. Love that. Or Kenny JD with her Bad Movies and a Beat. Love that. I hope that at some point I can get into that, into doing my makeup while talking about other stuff, because I truly love watching that. I find it so entertaining. I grew up watching makeup YouTube, and at first, of course, it's very useful to watch the tutorials and all of that so you can learn, but eventually you're just like, I don't really care about the technique, and watching someone do their makeup I find so relaxing and so just calming on my mind. And if they're doing other things, and if they're talking trash about other stuff, or if they're talking about a serial killer, I love that. Sign me up. Also, I really enjoy booktube content. I'm not a very big part of the booktube community because I'm not subscribed to that many booktube channels, but I'm subscribed to like 3 or 4 that I really love. And I used to be like a bookworm, big bookworm. Like I could devour books. But eventually I stopped buying books, and I don't really like reading them online, or like piracy and all of that. So I still love reading. I can still read a book in like less than 2 days when I'm really interested in them, but I don't buy books that often. So I really enjoy watching other people talk about books and recommending books. So maybe I can distill the actual books that I buy and read. And yeah, I love booktube occasionally. And the last 2 communities, categories, whatever, I'm just gonna say those 2 together, but they're like separate. And they're the history community and the science/fun facts community. Love watching those. When I was growing up, I was never interested in history at all. Like, I was interested in the sense that I enjoy like Greek mythology and all of that, but I've always been trash at history because I would get the dates or the places confused, and yeah, no, history wasn't my thing growing up. But history YouTube, I love that because I love learning about all these funny stories of old people, of people that lived long ago. And I also love like overly sarcastic productions and oversimplified, because they tell the story of history like in a really fun way and a really enjoyable way. And yeah, I I found my love for history eventually. And now for the science and fun facts, I've always loved science. Growing up, science classes were my favorite thing ever. So it's no surprise that I love watching science and other fun fact related content. It's just I don't watch that content too often because I don't like that content playing in the background. I like actually paying attention to the science and fun facts videos that I watch. And since I mostly watch YouTube while doing other stuff, I don't watch that content that often, but I still love it. And whenever I have some free time to only watch the YouTube video and soak in everything that they're saying, that's the type of video that I'm watching. So yeah, those were my rambly thoughts on different YouTube communities slash genres. It was just basically a video of me exposing myself for being someone that spends so much time on YouTube that has developed different opinions and thoughts on different types of communities. Yay! Anyways, if you're one of those people too, then maybe share your own opinions on YouTube content in the comments. Tell me whether you love a community that I dislike or that makes me uncomfortable, or if you love the same communities as I do, and if you have any channel recommendations, because I'm always looking for more content to consume. Yay! Yeah, just let me know in the comments. And thank you so much for riding this train of thought with me. We have reached the end, the last station, so you can hop down now. I guess we kind of committed to the theme today. All right, bye!